everybody, and welcome to the Fandom Flux Podcast, episode 137. I am your host, Casey, and with me we have... Slicer.
Hey, guys.
Who else do we have? I'm off track because Zero's not here. Guy's here.
Am I? Oh, yes, I am. Yeah. Probably am.
Yeah,
You
mostly.
exist.
Special guest... That.
I thought we just said it on Hugh. We just said it on Hugh, I think.
Did we? Okay, Hugh.
Yeah. Hello, I'm Hugh, and I successfully bribed my way onto the show yet again.
Also, it says in Skype your name is actually Fred.
Yeah, it is, but everyone just goes Hugh because it's like a username I've used since like school. It's like, it was like, our school username was like the first 4 letters of your surname, initials, year of graduation. Yeah. So everyone online just calls me Hugh because I always use that, and I just kind of went, fuck it, that's my online name now.
Okay. In fairness, I
You can go for it, I don't really much. I'm more used to hearing Hugh online, that's all.
Yeah, I can't really argue the point. I did the same thing with Casey, and I'm planning on legally changing my name anyway, so...
Huh. Alright.
So... And we have Kenji.
Hi, I'm Kenchi618, and guys, I mean, what are we doing here? Like, is this real life?
Or is this just fantasy?
Do you feel like I feel right now? I don't know.
I think Kenji missed the reference.
Yeah,
I think he was
I
going
got
for a different reference.
I got the reference. I'm completely ignoring it
yeah.
because
That's
it's not.
Yeah, baby.
This isn't your introduction, so shut the fuck up.
Come on, Kenji. Just unbench the Kench, would you?
What is that from?
I don't know.
I don't know. When I was starting it just said that. It didn't make any sense.
For the audience's sake, when you open Discord, it comes up with a bunch of messages. Usually they're gaming related because it's a gaming messaging service, voice chat thing. You know, it'll come up with like StarCraft references, building additional pylons or something. For Slicer this time it came with unbench the Kench, and none of us quite know what that would refer to other than our very own Kenchi618. So we're a little confused.
Let's see what Google
I
says.
googled it and it's a Twitch quote, I think.
Yeah, it's a...
It's a Twitch quote, apparently.
Okay, Kenchi, you should probably start a Twitch channel because you're Twitch famous already, apparently. So
It's lingo from some guy called Tom Kench, a League of Legends streamer. Apparently. That's what Reddit says.
okay, apparently someone's stealing Kenchi's thing, so...
This is what you've trained for, Kenchi.
It is.
Yeah,
It
take
is.
back your name.
Of course it is.
It's like getting your mask stolen in, like, Lucha Libre. You need to challenge the guy and get it back.
What if I lose?
Then you don't deserve your name.
Then I have to unmask.
It's true. That is the downside of losing. The shame.
Yeah, you'd have to be Kenneth for the rest of your life. Ugh.
Hell no.
No, it'd be Kenny. Come on, this is shameless, Kenji.
Oh.
Oh, I don't want that either.
Then you have to rant about your boat forever? God. And your family?
I'm a little confused.
Oh,
Can
that's
you get
beautiful.
that?
Talking about a different Kenny to the one that everyone, literally everyone, is thinking about right now, Slicer.
Well, that was the easy one.
Anyway. So, we're here, we're doing what we're doing, so what have we been doing? Let's start with you. What have you been doing the past 6 months or so? Oh, wait, sorry, Hugh, I just gotta... Hold on for a second, we've,
I'm sorry, take your time.
I'm disappointed in myself. I forgot again. I'm sorry, Guy. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You're supposed to go first. So,
I know you even have some chat name.
Come on, you've got to let the Hugh go first. I mean, he's the guest here.
No,
He
no, no,
deserves
it's
the
okay. It's
privilege.
fine. I wouldn't want to steal your thunder, Guy.
You
Just
are
please.
No,
so
you should really go
magnanimous,
first,
Hugh. I
yeah.
know how important it is to Guy to go first every time, so thank you for being
It's
so
okay,
understanding.
it's
Okay, Guy, take us away. What have you been doing?
Oh, God, I don't know. How am I meant to keep track of what I've been doing? Do you know that stuff happens? It's just... what have I been doing? I don't even know. Let's see. I've been doing some welding at work. That's been fun. I've been building a mortar frame. We'll put the test equipment. That's been great. PCB. I can't talk about work, can I? It's...
No one understands what the hell you're talking about? No, pretty much.
I've been doing engineering. I put electricity through things and stuff turns around, you know.
Okay. Even that explanation might have been a little bit over my head, so fair enough.
Yeah, I'm really struggling here. I can't think of anything I've actually been doing. It's been a very lazy time for me. Not outside of work.
Hey, just wrap it up then. Wrap it up. God. Wrap it up.
Okay, I'm wrapping it up. I'm out.
Okay. Thanks, Guy.
This is very stressful, you know that. I can't do this.
Yeah, you need to take the advice that I gave Ethan a few days ago. You need to give less of a shit. That's the way it works. You stop really caring and everything gets a lot less stressful really quickly.
Believe me, I care very little about a lot of things. It's just, I can't explain why I don't care. That's just weird.
But I appreciate that you apparently care very, very much about the podcast and, you know, putting on
No,
a good
I
show
wouldn't
for
go
the
that
people.
far.
Well, apparently you do because you're getting really stressed out about it.
I wouldn't say stressed out. It's more
It's
flustered.
commendable. Yeah, like stressed.
No.
Yeah.
I do not care about anybody on
Don't-
this podcast. Believe
Don't
me.
worry, Guy. The audience loves you too.
They do?
I
love you,
do.
Guy,
Probably.
and I'm the audience.
They shouldn't. Don't love me. I'm unlovable. Really.
I agree.
Kenji's
Yes,
mean
he
today.
gets it. He gets it. I'm unlovable. I'm a horrible,
Yes,
shallow
good.
person.
Don't waste
I'm a-
any love on him. Heap all your love on me. Actually wants it. /
No,
needs
don't
it.
do that either. Kenji's worse than me.
Yeah, he
Yeah, I
went
am,
back
but
to
at least I'm honest about it.
I'm sorry, how am I not honest? I just admitted how horrible I am.
I was horrible while you were still in your crib, sucking on bottles and your mom's titties, dude. I'm the original horrible podcast member.
Okay, good
I'm
for you.
not sure whether that thing actually works because I don't know how old Guy is. Think about it.
21.
Holy shit, really?
Yeah.
Really?
And
How old did you think I was?
older
I
because
felt like
you're in an
that's old.
engineering job?
Yeah.
Yeah, 20s or something. Fuck. I thought engineering was like a 3-year uni course at least.
At
4
the
years.
very least, yeah. I'd have thought masters as well, possibly,
Yeah.
depending on what you do.
I just finished university last year, you know that.
Oh, right. Yeah. It's a little weird that you're already doing international trips for like business stuff. Then you are spectacularly successful compared to the rest of us. It's a little weird and disconcerting.
Hey, I'm successful. Fuck you too.
I'm successful in my own way.
I'm professionally successful, so fuck you too.
And now I'm sad. Okay, so
So wait, have we just agreed that Case is the least successful one out of all of us?
no, that's slice.
Wow.
Oh.
Is it?
Yes.
Ouch. But it's true.
Technically
Fair
speaking,
enough.
yes.
Sorry, Slicer.
Though I've had like a 4-year head start on him, so you know.
We didn't rub our success in your face.
Wait, how old are you?
Who?
Casey.
27.
Oh, yeah, no, you were way behind me.
It's all relative. Right now you suck, so I'm okay with that.
Fair enough.
When did this podcast get so mean? Honestly.
Since Kenshin was feeling down about himself. So, Slicer, since we're talking about how much you suck, what have you been doing for the past week?
Work. Work. That's it.
Not helping your image.
See, at least I'm not the only wrong person on the podcast.
He's quitting.
Yeah, but I'm not always here, so it's okay.
Did I mention I had to take actually back the 2 weeks because I need to pay off a loan? Yeah, that kind of sucks.
I'm a little confused.
I put in my 2 weeks a while back. The 3rd was actually supposed to be my last day, but I found out one of my student loans was unsubsidized, so it has to be paid back, where it gains interest right away, as opposed to 6 months.
That is great.
Ouch.
2 days later, hey, I know I quit like 2 days ago. Give me now because I kind of need this job for a little while longer, please.
No, I put in my 2 weeks like a sane employee should, and my boss is like, yeah, something's gonna come up and you're gonna have to keep this job. The smug look on her face when I told her I had to keep the job, I wanted to quit out of spite. She's like, fuck it, I'll be broke. Because I have enough to pay off the student loan. It's just I would have no money to live on for like the last month and a half until classes start. Because then I would have a job. It would just be the campus job, and that's not a summer position. So, oh well. So yeah, I'll be keeping this one until fall classes start.
Okay.
You poor son of a bitch. That is
I know.
just great. That is great.
Yeah.
Is it just me, or is it worrying how Kenshi is so upbeat after hearing about Slice's misfortune?
I mean, it makes you
It's
feel
entirely
so.
natural.
Yeah. Let's Slicer. Go on.
Mm-hmm.
My family and my girlfriend also went to see fireworks on the 4th of July.
Oh.
The show was okay. The local specialty is like gunpowder and coffee creamer, and if you explode that, it really explodes. Or if you light it, it really explodes. And they do that between every like act, I guess, of fireworks. And this time they only had like one small lineup of fireworks. One of the explosions, like one canister, not a very big one. Another big thing of fireworks that wasn't really finale quality, but it was like mid-show. A bigger explosion, and then they just stopped. And this took like 15 minutes. Usually these shows are about 45 minutes long. So we're thinking something exploded that wasn't supposed to, or it was so humid that they couldn't get anything to light.
Well, like how high was the explosion? Was it ground level or sky high? Because that's a good indicator of if they fucked up.
The explosions are normally about 2 to 3 stories high, but the fireworks weren't getting very far off the ground this time. It was kind of worrying.
Yeah.
And the 2 of the 3 big explosions that they had were half of the stuff went right back down. Like it didn't go up very far. Usually it makes a mushroom cloud. It made like half of a mushroom cloud, and then yeah.
All right.
Wait. Mushroom cloud.
I know. I just let that one sit.
What are they putting in it to make that happen?
Plutonium.
Oh, it's not that hard. You can get a mushroom cloud from anything, really.
Fucking Americans.
Is this not normal? Do other people not enjoy the wonder of explosions?
Not mushroom cloud
Explosions are cool,
explosion.
but mushroom clouds tend to be a very, very bad sign.
No, but not.
Traditionally speaking, anyway.
You don't need
That's
to nuclear to...
fine.
Honestly, what's wrong with the mushroom cloud? It's such a bad press.
Yeah, it does. Can't imagine why that is. Anyway, what else have you been doing, Slicer?
Nothing. That's it.
Oh. Everyone's
I don't have a lot of free time.
Kenchua.
All right. So I'm convinced that one of my friends he's a salesman. He's actually a salesman. And I'm convinced he's actually a legitimately good salesman because he sold me on Overwatch.
Okay.
I bought the game Overwatch because of him.
Is that hard? I'm confused. Did you not want to play it?
I didn't. I didn't want to play Overwatch at all, but I bought it. And I'm still not... I don't know how I feel about it yet because I feel like I don't get the game yet. Like, it hasn't clicked with me yet.
It's
not...
like Team Fortress.
Yeah. You see, I intentionally stay away from, like, objective-based modes in, like, first-person shooters. That's all Overwatch is. It's objective-based. So I got to be really good at objectives and stuff because I am not getting much killing done. So, and I want to be good. I want to be good at killing, but all the offensive characters have shit for HP. So you can't really go on a run with them unless you know what you're doing, which I don't know yet.
So what you're saying is you're not a team player.
No, I'm not a team player. I'm really not. I'm all about solo glory. It's a lot easier to do that in, say, Battlefield or something, even if you are playing like a objective-based thing than Overwatch. Because characters work together. Like, there's this one thing I did that was awesome, and I'm pretty sure everyone does it. On, like, one of the maps, I was defending a location, and some dude built, like, a turret and upgraded the shit out of it, and then I just stood in front of it with some dude that could put up a shield that the turret could shoot through. So the whole time I was just shielding the turret from damage while it killed everything else. It was horrible, but it was hilarious.
No, that's pretty common, actually, yeah.
And then there was another time where everybody on the team picked the same dude, all turret-making dudes, and we just built turrets at strategic locations to the objective and just let the turrets kill everyone and mop up anyone that got through with what was left. It was the cheapest win, but it's okay. Because it worked. I know they were pissed, though.
Yeah.
So, because it's moments like that that made me think Overwatch is good game and I could be okay with it as soon as I got good. I don't know how to get good. So I'm just dealing with it for the time being until something clicks. Something's going to click eventually. It has to. So I'm just waiting.
Or maybe you're just not very good at playing it.
Possibly. That's a very realistic possibility.
Pretty much what he just said. My understanding is Overwatch, you find the character that fits, and you play just that character. And then you just get really, really good at that character that has a very specific play style.
Have you tried Tracer?
I have. I'm pretty good with Tracer, but she can take no damage, and she's not good for everything. She's kind of broken, though. I say that, and I see people do some shit with Tracer that seems not doable. She's not supposed to have a whole lot of damage output, yet she kills me in one-on-ones all the time because she can teleport all the time. She has 3 teleports, and it takes 4 seconds to restore one. So she is fucking hard to kill with someone who knows what they're doing to get away from you. And if you beat her down too bad, she can go back in time to the point right before she was hurt and get most of her HP back, if not all of it.
Wait, what?
What?
Okay.
Go back in time?
Yeah.
It's like a thing. It's like kind of rewind time. It's weird.
It sounds
But
weird.
it's only for herself. But only for herself, not like everybody else, just her.
Okay.
Everybody has weird-ass powers. That's one of Tracer's weird-ass powers.
I think I should
Didn't
just play
expect
Overwatch,
time
guys.
reversal, but okay.
She's not even the only person that can do time shit. That's tame compared to what the other person can do. I don't even know how to use the other person. I've never seen anyone pick the other person that can actually do more time shit, but apparently it's weird. So I got to look into that soon.
That might be your character. You don't know. What else have you been doing, Kenshi?
Let's see. I'm up to page 50 in the stupid book I'm writing. Hooray.
Cool.
Oh,
So
awesome.
it's moving along. And it's made me put everything else on the back burner for the time being, so sorry for them slow updates, audience. I'm trying to make real money here. Actual, factual cash. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, the bone in my hand is still protruding. Just so you know.
The what?
The bone in my hand.
Did I miss something? What?
You realize I was in a cast for like 3 weeks, right?
I had forgotten about it, actually.
Yeah,
He mentions it like every week. He has to let everybody know.
and then I tore it off because I was tired of how it was looking at me.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That does sound like you.
Yeah, the bone's still there. It doesn't even hurt anymore. It's just, sticking up. It's there. It's a thing. And I don't think it's going to go back down. So, yeah. My hand has a permanent bump in it. For the ladies. They like stuff like that, right?
If they're into fisting, but, where's the bump? Is it like...
It's on the back of my hand.
Yeah, I stand by my fisting comment. What the fuck, dude?
I don't know.
Okay.
You don't know what people like.
That's true.
Okay. Anything else, Kenshua?
Trying to think. No, not really.
Not really? Okay. Hufujuate. What have you been doing for the past 6 months? We're finally back to you. I probably should have gone back to you immediately after we did Guy.
It's okay.
Because,
Okay. I was feeling a little left out, but I understand.
Yeah,
I'm
we
new here.
should give him time to think. It's only fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be really nice to have time to think, wouldn't it?
But I know you're always eager to get in there, Guy, so don't worry about it.
Oh yeah, you
We
can
totally
tell how
understand.
eager I am, can't you?
Yeah. I don't know. When did I leave last week? I talked to you guys back in fucking New Year Day.
December, yeah.
Well, it wasn't December. Well, for you, I might have been I remember because I had to rush back home at fucking 1 a.m. to get back in time to do it on New Year's Eve. Oh no, New Year's Day. It was January.
Right. Yeah, okay. They should record it on New Year's Eve. Holy shit.
It was not a great day. Got pulled over for drink driving like 3 times. Like not for drink driving, but they pulled me over to check me like 3 times. I was like, this is very random, guys. What else? Since then, I bust the shit out of my back. So I've been doing chiro like 3 times a week since. Lovely. I think might have just done. No, I hadn't done that yet. That was afterwards. But yeah, bust twisted the bones of the the actual vertebrae, like the bone itself. I just kind of twisted them when wakeboarding, which is a bitch. So I've just been chucking money at that. Work. So lovely tax accounting, which is great fun. Started my own kind of firm thing to do people's tax on a pseudo legal basis, I guess.
Yeah.
Do we have a criminal on the podcast?
Yes, we
That
do.
would-
It's awesome.
Awesome.
It's a very grey area. To be a registered solo tax agent, you have to have had 2 years industry experience. I haven't quite had those 2 years experience, and I'm trying to do my own. So I'm just kind of doing for people I know without, so I don't have to go to the ATO and register and that kind of shit. So it's a grey area. So I can quite easily argue that I'm just helping friends doing their tax.
This
And
just
they're
makes
being
you
very
a
nice
white
and
collar-
donating money to you in recompense.
Yes, exactly. It's they're not paying me anywhere close to what an actual tax accountant would charge, because it's $160 to do a basic tax accountant, but it's 10 minutes work, so I just go $30 because that seems fair. Oh yes, damn! None of you guys live in Australia. I could be advertising my services. Oh well.
Shucks.
Oh, don't you worry, guys. When I come to back to the UK, I'll get you then. I'll get you then.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, you need to earn money for that. My apologies.
Hey,
Oh.
Get shit on me.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Apart from that,
Actually, technically speaking, I'm still earning money. I get my last paycheck today. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
oh, I take it back.
Yeah.
Take it all back.
See? You don't know.
Oh, I should have come. What else? Haven't really been up to much. Just a lot of work. Doing extra study on the side to kind of fill the time. So uni part time to do that, which is even more fun. What else? Re-kitting my house because I moved again. So I had to re-kit out the house. Need a new TV and shit like that because the new room setup, like, it was too far away from my bed. So, like, the TV wasn't big enough, so I had to upgrade that to get a better one, which was cool. Finally have air conditioning in this house, so I will no longer die in 40-degree summer heats, which is going to be glorious. And
That
Okay.
does sound nice.
Yeah, now you only have to
I
worry
have
about
no
all the
idea.
other stuff that can kill you.
Yeah, they're fine. You get used to those ones. The heat is the one you can't escape from. Like, well, where I am in WA, it's like, the only thing we've got to worry about in the city are the redbacks. That's about it in the city. So that's one spider.
Googling redbacks and also going to be putting that in the link dump for everyone to understand exactly how fucked he is. So.
Oh my god, I love some of the animals in Australia. One of my friends was thinking about coming to visit, and I was just listing all the animals that would kill them if they came to visit. And my favourite one was when I was looking up the trying to find, like, the worst ones. And it's like the blue-ringed octopus, and it was like had the most, like, disturbing quote in its description, and it was saying, if you survive the first 24 hours, you're generally going to make a full recovery. I was like, that is just the most ominous shit you ever heard.
Yeah, okay. I forgot for 30 seconds that you live in Australia and everything kills you. So
That's lovely.
Yeah, the redback is a species of black widow, by the way.
It will kill you. That's about all you need to know.
Yeah.
See a redback on a spider? Don't go near it. They're flame retardant. I swear to God. Not even kidding.
I know that.
I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. I found one on my deck once. And I was like, I'm going to kill this motherfucker. So I ran inside and got some spray, got my matches. I was like, I'm going to flame you. I burned a hole through my chair and that thing still just fucking ran away.
wow.
And now
Now
you've
it-
made an enemy for life.
Now it knows your face.
But yeah, I always thought it's like if they ever come to me, I'm just going to kind of have like, I'll use fire and I'll be fine. But that really shook my faith in that defense strategy.
I'm going to read a passage from Wikipedia on the redback.
Do we have to? I don't want to hear anything about
The
anything from Australia.
redback is one of the few spider species that can be seriously harmful to humans, and its preferred habitat has led it to being responsible for the large majority of serious spider bites in Australia. Predominantly neurotoxic to vertebrates, the venom gives rise to the syndrome of latrodectism in humans. This starts with pain around the bite site, which typically becomes severe and progresses up the bitten limb and persists for over 24 hours. Sweating in localized patches of skin and occasionally occurs in and is highly indicative of latrodectism. Generalized symptoms of nausea, vomiting, headache, and agitation may also occur and indicate severe poisoning. Okay.
Alright.
This isn't
I
so
love
bad
that.
because an antivenom has been available since 1956 and there have been no deaths directly due to redback bites since its introduction.
See, that's the thing about the blue ring is there is no antidote. You just have to survive the first 24 hours. And it's like it's a paralytic. It's a paralytic. It's like it freezes your lungs so you can't breathe. So you have to, like, if somebody doesn't get you really fucking quick, you're just going to suffocate and there's nothing you can do about it. Because they have to, like, do assisted breathing for the next 24 hours. It's a lovely
Right.
octopus. And it's so good. It's really small and it looks really, it's like just so harmless. It's just fucking tiny.
If I move to Australia like I plan to, if shit goes south in America, I might have to learn how to be more of a pussy because everything will kill me.
It's an easy hint. Just straight easy hint is you're gonna choose a side. Choose Western Australia because more of the shit's in Eastern Australia, unless you go out in the bush in WA. In WA, you only have to worry about the redbacks in the city, whereas over East you got a bit more variety of shit. Unless you're going in the water, and then you've got crocodiles, sharks, blue bottles, fucking stonefish.
Oh, don't worry about that.
Stay on land in WA. That's change to that. Stay on land in WA, and you should be okay.
I can't even swim, so no worries there.
Oh, you don't have to swim. You just have to be like knee-high water, so wading.
So, Australia has this thing about not importing animals or something, right?
Oh, we have like a thing about not importing nearly anything.
Yeah. So, my understanding was that is to like conserve the habitats and the ecosystem and stuff.
Yeah.
That's basically so that anything that people bring in doesn't get eaten by the incredibly dangerous spiders or whatever, and they have a feeding frenzy and mate a hell of a lot, and have a population explosion that's going to wipe out the entire continent, right?
Something like that. And we also got the cane toad from the I think from the US, which is again poisonous in its own right. And
so they basically just added another incredibly dangerous.
Yeah, I know. Thanks, guys. Like we were doing okay, and then you added another one. Like what the shit?
Sorry, I think.
We didn't bring it. You took it from us because you thought it would kill snakes.
No, then we thought it would. Oh, what did we do it for? Was it because I don't know.
Just because
we brought the cane toad, and then we brought. I think it was no. That was the foxes we brought for the rest. I can't remember how. We brought like a few things. Like Thomas brought something. You're like, fuck it, this didn't work. Let's bring something else to deal with that thing, and it still didn't work. We're like, let's try again. Still didn't work. We're like, fuck it, let's just call it quits. It was not a great plan.
It was in an attempt to control the native grey-backed cane beetle.
Was it? Oh.
Apparently. It's what Google's telling me.
Cool. We have a few introduced. It's good.
Yeah. So
introduce species into thrive. It's amazing. Fitting in quite nicely. Make it more deadly for everybody.
Wonderful.
Actually, the golden wool spiders. That's my favorite one. They're fucking massive, like face-size spiders. Like no shit, face-size.
Could we just can we just stop for a little talking about the spiders?
Where's the fun?
No arachnophobia, right? We're all good. We're all good. No arachnophobia.
I mean, you're not near any of these, so I don't know what you're worried about.
I'm not arachnophobic. I'm things that can kill me phobic.
Isn't that just called common sense?
Yeah, it's also technically not a phobia because those are irrational. It's entirely rational to be afraid of things that can kill you. So,
Would that make like most of Australia irrational because we don't think about all these things that will try and kill us?
Yes.
Okay, just clearing that up.
Okay. Anything else you think?
I think that's about it. Nothing overly interesting. Just injuries, uni work, and
Spiders.
and snakes, and all that other jazz. Octopuses, jellyfish. Yeah.
Okay.
You want like 8 out of like the top 10 spiders, most poison spiders, come to us. You want 7 of the top 10 poison snakes, come to us. Something like that.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
my week, haven't been doing much, to be honest with you. I actually want to talk about Rooster Teeth for a little bit because they are kind of killing it with all the shows right now.
In a good way, or what? What do you mean?
Like, everything that they're putting out is kind of amazing.
I have not seen day 5. Is that doing well?
Yes. That is basically 90% of the reason I'm even bringing this up. That is an amazing show.
What is?
Day 5. Basically,
I don't know.
the concept is, at some point in the middle of the night, like early morning, 3 o'clock, thereabouts, the scenario becomes anyone that falls asleep dies. Immediately.
Huh. Alright.
So the entire show is about people trying to find out, one, why this is happening, and two, trying to do literally anything they can to not fall asleep. And it all takes place on day 5 of that. So by that point, people are already taking incredibly hard drugs and injecting themselves with adrenaline shots to try and keep themselves awake. And even that's starting to stop working.
I see. Okay, yeah. I had not heard anything about what the story of that was, so that's pretty cool.
It is a really cool concept for a show, and they're doing it very, very well. Like, they bring in a lot of ideas of how people are managing to survive. Like, there's a hospital, so they have a lot of access to, medical drugs and stimulants and things like that. There's people that have holed up in a police station, because in the lockup, in the evidence locker, there is a hell of a lot of hard drugs. So they can just take cocaine for the next 3 or 4 days and, party until the end of the world. And then there is the guy that did not have any access to any of that, and instead decided to spike his adrenaline by stabbing himself in the arm with needles.
Just
Nails, rather,
needles?
actually. Nails, sorry. It wasn't needles, it was nails.
Did it work?
It worked. It drove him very, very insane, but it worked. Yeah. It is very cool. It's very creepy and takes a horror bent every now and again. But, cannot recommend it enough. If you do not have a sponsorship or first membership, whatever they're calling it now, get one for this show, because it's fucking worth it.
I wish they didn't call it First. I don't like that name. It's just... Maybe I'm scarred by the internet, but still.
I think it's okay. I mean, the way they explained it, First is a big internet thing, and it's been a big thing on their website as well.
Fair enough.
Like, there are thousands of jokes about people trying to get the first post. Like, there was a thing on the internet box about how Andrew Blanchard got a first post on some journal or something, and everyone that saw it downvoted his comment. So he decided to edit it after the fact that, wow, what a great community we have here, and then everyone upvoted it again. So,
I remember that, yes.
Yeah, so...
Them talking about that, at least.
It's a big thing on their website as well as just a big internet thing, and that's where they live, so it kind of makes sense. But yeah, that and theater mode are great reasons to get a sponsorship, if you want to still call it that.
I want to see more of theater mode. The problem is I can't watch it over just, I can't just listen to it like a podcast. It loses a lot of its appeal. I've tried.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's watching a film. That's kind of half the point. But yeah, it's a very good show. So if you like the MST style stuff, then that's a very good show for it. And has a lot less of the faff that, Riff Tracks has, where you have to try and sync up, or like how we do it, where you have to sync up the audio with the film that they're watching. Only you have to set it all up yourself. That's kind of annoying and a pain in the ass. We know, but it's how you have to do it so you can get around copyright stuff. Whereas for Rooster Teeth, they don't have to do that because they've actually licensed the films. So you can just watch the film, and they'll have themselves in the corner doing commentary as well. It's good stuff. That and the animated shows. People should watch Camp Camp.
I haven't heard anything about that since I saw, the
good.
bits about it.
It's good. I get the feeling it's like those not quite adult animated shows, like I want to say Gravity Falls, but I haven't seen that, so I don't know whether the comparison is apt, but it gives me that impression of a show that's animated comedy, kind of not quite adult humor, like teenage, preteen humor style thing, but still really funny. That's good stuff.
It's always good to have more of those. I like that style of show.
Yeah. So aside from watching a bunch of Rooster Teeth stuff, I have been playing the shit out of Persona 4 Golden over the past few days.
Why would you do that?
But it's a great game.
Because it's a great game. Also because I kind of need to.
Yeah, he needs it as a reference tool.
Oh, that's right. Rewrite.
Yeah. Because the thing is, a lot of the extra scenes that they added aren't actually on YouTube or anything, and they're not in the script for the social links because they're not social links that someone has put up. So I have to play the game, and while I'm playing it, when a new scene comes up I've never seen, I have to say, okay, stop, open Notepad, alright, I've got to type this down. Okay, play the scene, and 1 line, 2 line, 3 line. Okay, stop scene. Alright, typing. Okay, next lines. Go, and typing.
Is that just for the dialogue with the new character?
That's for all of the new scenes that they added, because they added a bunch of stuff. Like, you can get a scooter so you can travel to a different city, and they added in a bunch of new scenes for you actually doing that.
Okay.
Weirdly, they added a new scene in, like, really early in the game where there's a storm and Chie gets freaked out. It's a nice character moment. It's also another scene that I have to fucking type up, so a little bit of the luster is kind of ruined. But, you know, it's fine.
Yeah, because I only played Golden, so I thought when that got only it added the new character and just some scene incorporate her into the story.
No, it adds a bunch of stuff, and actually, I've noticed it actually rewrites a few of the scenes. I think, I'm like 90% certain that when Kanji gets first introduced and joins the investigation team, they rewrote that scene on the rooftop. I'm like 90% certain. They actually did a really good job because it's really well written. Like, fits in with the rest of the stuff really well. Also, had no idea that they actually recast Kanji for a few of the scenes.
Did his voice actor change?
They still have the same voice actor for most of it. It's still Troy Baker, but for, like, some of the scenes they added, he wasn't available. He was, like, on his honeymoon or something. So they had Matt Mercer do it instead. I couldn't tell.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't pick up on that either.
Yeah, like, they changed the voice actor in the middle of fucking scenes, apparently, and I didn't notice the difference. That's kind of incredible.
That's really good.
Yeah. So, Troy Baker's really good. Matt Mercer, also really fucking good voice actor.
Damn it, now I'm going to play that game again, see if I can pick out those moments.
Yeah, so I've been playing a bunch of that, following a social link guide so I can get everything all at once and not have to replay it hundreds of times to see everything. Yeah, the social link guides for that game are shit. I'm behind on 4 different characters. So, yeah.
I was in GameStop for not GameStop, Video Games Etc., the smaller non-corporate version, I guess.
Yeah.
And I actually saw a guide for the perfect route. So I have in my possession somewhere laying around this house a guide for that.
Okay.
I just find it interesting. They printed a physical book. It's more of like a guidebook thing. It's pretty small, but it's like 200 pages. That just has the perfect route.
Huh.
Better
Okay.
get scanned.
I'm not going to scan 200 pages. And if you can find the PDF, that's awesome, but I'm not doing that.
Slicer.
Also, I need to find it first.
Slicer is not supportive of my endeavors.
No.
It's almost a shame you had to go back to your job, because then we could have just said you had nothing else to do with your time.
Yeah.
Shit.
Now
Yeah,
you do.
that's a good point.
Yeah. Shit, you should have used that excuse.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well. Alright, so that's pretty much my week. That's literally everything I've been doing is playing Golden like 90% of the time. Until I realized I was way behind on too many social links and just kind of stopped for a bit. Because I got really annoyed. Because it was like one, and then another cropped up, then another cropped up, and then another cropped up, and I... Okay, fuck this. I'm just gonna stop for a while and just not think about it. Yeah.
I'm sure it probably evens out, or...
It won't even out, but there's supposedly enough time to get it fixed before the end of the game. Like, there's 2 weeks before the end that it should be all done. Anyway, so that's my week. So, next thing on the list is Random A. So, the show for this week was Ultraviolet Code 044. Funny thing about that show that I didn't know before, well, actually looking it up for the link, that's actually technically a spin-off.
Huh. Well,
Yeah.
what was the original?
There was a film called Ultraviolet. It was actually, I think it was Sony that produced it, but it was like a Western film. Like, not Japanese.
I remember the name of the film. I don't remember anything about it.
Yeah, I actually watched the film. It was the most forgettable sci-fi film I ever saw. It was really pretty terrible film.
Oh,
It's
someone
only
watched it.
unique because of how absolutely forgettable it was, actually.
What was it about? I don't even remember.
It's sci-fi assassins and catsuits going around killing people with lots of martial arts and explosions, I think.
Also,
and then
there are
there's-
vampires.
Was that the one that had the Resident Evil chick in it?
yeah, that was the one.
Yeah, because the
Oh.
only thing I remembered about it was that everyone wore tight ass suits and the light. That's all I remember about that movie.
Yeah. So, that was a thing that existed. It wasn't very successful. It wasn't very good. And then they made an anime about it. And that's... After one episode, I'm finding kind of the jury's still out on whether it's good or not. I have no idea.
Well, apparently the critical response is better.
You know, it's nicely animated.
And, I mean, I watched 2 to be fair, and I still don't know what to think about it. So
Quite a bit of exposition in the first episode, which I like. I prefer getting into a show and knowing what's going on from the outset rather than, drip feeding us the information that we kind of need to know.
Really?
Yes, that's what I prefer. We've been over this. So I like that aspect of it. Like I say, it's well animated. Some of the character models look a little odd to me. Like the torso's a bit too long. No one
I've
else
seen
noticed
a
that?
few. I've seen a few anime studios that do things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's only made weirder by how often the protagonist is naked, or at least topless. Like, literally 4 or 5 different scenes, for some reason, in a 20-minute episode.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
you got to drive it home. You know what
Yeah.
people came for.
This woman has no nipples. Why does she have no nipples? These are the questions that you should be asking. Apparently.
Science.
Yeah. Little confused as to why it was entirely necessary for her to be topless in so many scenes when, like, there's no, like, titillation factor because there's no, well, tits, basically, because she has no nipples. It's a little weird. It's disconcerting. Is that why? Because that's an intentional thing, or is it just a censoring thing? I honestly don't know.
I thought that was just a censor thing.
I assume
to be
it's
honest.
censoring.
Which makes it a little weird because I don't know. Anyway, so the main plot thread of this is there's a woman. Her name is 44 because she is a clone. And she has been injected with a virus that will kill her in 5 years but makes her superpowered, apparently.
Okay.
Although
yeah.
it was hard, yeah, it wasn't explained very well in the show. Well, I think a lot of the exposition was patchy.
Yeah, but it served well enough for the time being. So she has this virus, it makes her superpowered, and her job is she is a special agent that has to hunt down phages, which are apparently vampires, kind of. Also, it takes place in space.
Wasn't she meant to be a vampire as well?
I
I
don't know.
thought she was like a vampire virus or whatever it was.
No, that was the movie, I think.
It might be both. It might be they injected her with a virus that is based on the vampire stuff.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Something like that, yeah. So she is hunting down the king that is the leader of the vampires, apparently. She walks right past him in the first episode for some reason. Apparently
Well,
they don't have
he was-
pictures of what he looks like or what he dresses like, even though he dresses like, I don't know. I want to say... No, I don't. I don't know what to describe that as except incredibly shifty, like he's in like a huge cloak and wears sunglasses and a hood over the top, and he looks like a bad dude constantly.
So someone that stands out, pretty much.
Yeah, very, very much. And he's sitting in a limo, and she just kind of walks past, stops for a second, and then just keeps walking. Like, as though she recognized that, who the fuck are you? And then just said, I don't care, and kept going.
You know, I thought that they explained it. They never actually knew what the king guy looked like, so she was
they
just
explained
oh,
Okay.
I think
missed
so.
that bit. Okay.
yeah, so she was just looking. Oh, there's a weird guy in a limo. Oh well, it's just a weird guy in a limo.
Okay.
Didn't mind that bit.
Okay. So yeah, I thought it was competent. It explained the plot and outlined it pretty well for the first episode. It's very pretty. I like the city backdrops and stuff with... it's very colourful, is the backdrops. Little confused with the really, really excessive nudity. I don't know why that's there, what purpose it serves, because it's not sexual in any way, it's just kind of there. Anyone else's thoughts besides mine?
Yeah, to be honest, it's the whole thing was a bit confusing. It's just, yeah, I remember I was comparing it to the movie all while I was watching actually, and it's, yeah, I guess I can see the similarities if I squint a little bit. But the movie was just a completely forgettable sci-fi bomb going on, and then they tried to turn that into something that was actually meant to be trying to be dark and dramatic almost, which was a bit weird. Just as a spin-off, why would you base it on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it works well enough. The going to space thing kind of came out of left field. I don't know whether that was a thing in the film or not.
Might have been. Can't remember it.
So, I mean, they talk about clones all the time. Hey, you're a clone. You got injected with this super virus that makes you superpowered and stuff. That's cool. By the way, you're going to space. Okay, space is a thing in this show, apparently. Okay. That's,
Yeah. Fair enough, sci-fi.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, the space thing isn't really a thing. It's just like a different setting. It's not even like a important different setting. It's like, this is another planet. It's like this one.
Yeah, it's almost like they just added that detail in so that they could do more shots of nebulas and stuff so they can make really colorful, pretty pictures.
I mean, they already had enough of those before even going.
Yeah. To me, it felt like it was trying to be too dramatic and sort of thing. It was fell in all the cliches with dark, brooding secret agent, long shots of her sleeping.
it feels like it's trying to be bigger than it is.
Yeah.
Also, there is a space whale.
Well, of course. I mean,
God, I wish I remembered that episode of Futurama so I could make references. I don't.
I could substitute with the Doctor Who references if you like. There was a space whale in that too. It was a stupid episode, but
you could also just sing the song.
We're whalers,
Whalers on the moon. We carry a harpoon. But we tell tall, but there ain't no whales.
So we tell tall
we
tales
tell tall
and sing a
tales and sing
whaling
our
tune.
I wondered if you guys would pick up on that instantly, or if I'd have to like start humming it or something.
How many times have we sung that song on any of our productions, Slicer?
I didn't want to, but you forced the issue, so I had to.
I don't
Yeah,
know
that
what
was
is.
forcing the issue.
What's that song from?
Futurama. It's the second
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah, second episode.
It's the year 3000 and they go to the moon, but no one actually remembers how the original moon landings went. So they just kind of make a theme park out of it and pretend there were space whalers or something. Yeah, Futurama's pretty good. Anyway, yeah,
Good
so
show.
that was Ultraviolet Code 44. It was okay. I wouldn't watch more of it, but it was okay.
Yeah. Apparently there was also a novelization of it.
Okay. One was probably more than enough. I'm a little baffled that there were so many attempts to make this another story after the film.
Yeah. Me too. That's what's really weirded me out about it by it as the following. It wasn't a special film in any sense, but...
Oh, I mean, there's something to be said for a property being kind of shit, but then doing a reimagining of it and making it better. I mean, something could be said for certain stories that people have written based on popular anime properties that were really terrible and were made better in their literary formats, written by enthusiasts.
Yeah, I don't know anything like that.
Yeah, you lost me. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Anyway, so 27, roll please.
Okay. Now, before I do this, just want you to know, are there any letters that you don't want any piece of? Are we just to that point yet?
I think we could probably avoid P.
At some point, I am going to just do full lists of each letter and cut out all the doubles and stuff, so there would only be like one Pokemon thing or something. I haven't done that yet, so for the time being, we can avoid P.
All right, then. Well, in that case, we get 4.
3, 4, so we get C.
Digimon. Yeah, of course you count.
Numbers is first. So bear with me while I count these up so we can get a good number. That, motherfuckers.
There's a show in this list called Cat Shit 1.
Oh my god, actually watch it. It's fucking great. It is so great.
Did you?
It's fucking, dude,
Did you
I watch it
solely for the name.
No, I did, it's a couple of US Army bunnies that are attacking, Arab camels, insurgents. It's amazing.
Wow, that is super
It's
duper
literally-
racist, and I want a piece of it.
Okay. It's literally just these, it's like, so it's just Arab camels and these like 2 American bunnies. So it's amazing. It's like, it's just like 20 minutes or something like that. Pure gold.
138.
Oh, okay. 138.
Oh, hang on. 144. Sorry, there were 2 pages, I just noticed.
Okie doke. 144. And the magical number for today is 44. 44.
Okay.
Bo. Tree Fitty. I said, you're that goddamn Loch Ness Monster, ain't you? There's no way I'm giving you a 350. Get the hell off my property, Loch Ness Monster.
Okay, something happened a few days ago. I was working register and the fattest black woman came in
Oh god.
and her change came out to be $350.
Tell me you didn't.
I had to resist so hard. But I did. Barely.
Okay.
Wait.
Well, you shouldn't have even have told me then. What are the chances she would have gotten it?
Not very.
That's not a... Okay.
It's very unlikely she would have gotten it.
Okay.
She wouldn't have understood, but she would have known that you were mocking.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Mm.
And the fat black women are the divas, so you don't look at them.
Mm. We're veering into dangerous territory. I think we should move on. Yeah, okay. So
We should what? It only we should move and then
Captain Planet, he's a hero. Bring pollution down to zero. Why the fuck is Captain Planet in here? Captain Planet
Because
is
Batman is in there. Everything is in there that's animated. Don't know why, but it is. Chaos Head.
I've seen that one actually. It's not a bad show. I don't know about the first one. It's probably pretty exposition heavy, but
Weird.
Takumi is a high school student. He is withdrawn and is not interested in 3D things. They really need to get someone to rewrite all of these plot summaries. In his town, a mysterious serial murder case happens and people get panicked. One day, when he chats on the internet, a man suddenly contacts him and gives him an URL. He goes to the website and finds a blog image that suggests a next murder case on the next day.
wow, these are really bad.
Apparently it was a visual novel as well. Just looking on the Wikipedia page.
The show was alright.
More Takumi is a high school student. He
They
is
doubled it
withdrawn
back.
and is not interested in 3D things. In his town, a mysterious murder case happens and people get panicked. One day, when he chats on the internet, a man suddenly contacts him and gives him an URL. He goes to the website and finds a blog image that suggests a next murder case. On the next day, it really happens. There we go. There's the rest of that summary at the end, after it repeats itself for no reason. Holy shit, someone needs to fix this.
Well, to be fair, we're on a dollar store streaming site, so I mean, yeah.
Yeah, but
Not sure what
still,
you really expected here.
it's like 5 minutes of work. It's not, but there's like thousands of shows on this, but still, it bothers me. Anyway, so Chaos Head is the show that we're going to be watching next week. Frankly, the plot summary reads like Persona 4. A lot.
I can see that, yeah.
Yeah. But never mind. Also, there is a girl on the image that has pink hair, because obviously, and has a giant sword thing. I don't know what that has to do with the serial murder case, but okay.
Is it a glowing weapon of any kind? Like a weirdly...
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, it's plot relevant.
Okay.
No, I'll try and not say anything. I'll leave it to you guys for later.
Okay, he's apparently seen it as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So, shall we move on to topics?
If we must.
Okay. So, first topic is who suggested this one, the Secret Identities one?
Some person, I can't remember.
I thought you had it in a document, please.
No, that would require forethought and planning.
Well, you kept talking about this fucking document you were trying to find. I assume it was there.
No, those are spare topics that we have. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Hope you like the 1 second of all.
It's better than the Pokemon theme song. We could be singing that.
So it was Bomber BCM. The show, I think it was Ray Donovan, I think it was. The show got me thinking about the idea of secret identities in fiction. In your opinion, when is it appropriate for a character to reveal his/her secret identity, if at all? What is the best way in a story to approach how a character should interact with their loved ones when it comes to their secret identity?
So, are we meaning secret identity from the reader, as in confusing the reader like that as well?
No,
just
keeping it
I think
from
it's from
characters
within
in universe.
characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, I am like 90% certain that everyone's mind, when this topic was brought up, immediately thought of Batman. So,
No.
I was thinking
but-
Spider-Man, actually.
really?
Yeah, Spider-Man was first to me.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense, actually, because his is more important. So,
I thought Superman because his is just so ineffectual.
okay, Casey's wrong about everything we've established. Now,
Well, we knew that a while ago, don't worry.
you know how you don't like to go first?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's never changing.
Yeah, I have.
I hope you have fun with that every week from now on, in perpetuity. It's never going to change. So, okay, Spider-Man has a secret identity.
First off, it just works. It actually works. Maybe not for some of the villains, but for the general populace, nobody knows he's Peter Parker.
Yes, which is an oddity in itself for various reasons. You'd think more people would be able to figure it out over time, especially if he interacts with people as Spider-Man, who he knows as Peter Parker. You would think they would recognize his voice or something, but we'll leave that to the wayside.
I would say that Spider-Man is probably the least offensive one out of all the superheroes. I mean, he's got a full body costume, plus he's kind of a nerd, so he doesn't really interact a lot during school. And whereas Spider-Man, he's got a very different personality. So, yeah, I don't really mind Spider-Man on that count as much as other Superman-like heroes completely.
Okay.
Abuse it.
I think I can agree with that, yeah. So, accepting all of that, that whether people should figure out that he is who he is or anything like that, the question is basically how should he interact with people, or how should a person that has a secret identity interact with people that they know in their alter ego's lives. So people they know as, let's say, Spider-Man, and he's talking to them as Peter Parker, and vice versa.
It kind of depends on what you want to do with it. If it's... basically, the characters will never tell it's got a secret identity unless the author feels it's convenient for them to start getting suspicious. It's kind of the typical way of doing it, I suppose. Otherwise, you get the thing with I don't know, Superman, Green Owl, Green Lantern, more characters than they can count, actually. Just, yeah, they get a love interest in both costumes and nobody knows about it for some baffling reason.
I actually don't know what the situation is with Green Arrow at the moment.
Sorry?
Like, I'm pretty sure at one point he was completely unmasked, and yeah, people were like, oh, the Oliver Queen, yeah, it's totally him. This topic's kind of stalling. Kenshi, save us.
I mean, the only reason that this is a thing is because the authors of these works make it a thing. What are the fucking chances, realistically, that if you are a superhero, you will constantly interact with your family and friends who are supposed to be normal and aren't supposed to get involved in this shit regularly?
Well, actually quite high. Because if the supervillains are attracted to you, you spend a lot of your time around your family.
But that would imply they know who you the
Yeah, that would
identity
imply that they know something about who you are.
Well, no, they just know where you are. I mean, if you spend a lot of time inadvertently hanging around or interacting with certain people because you know them, they're going to be attracted to those certain people too. Could justify it like that.
I can't. I still can't. Because that would at first imply that you keep showing up around them as a superhero.
Well, okay.
They're not exactly limited to like a suburb when they're doing their thing. They tend to move around.
Yeah.
Well, then take the Spider-Man excuse or something like that. Peter Parker, he interacts with Spider-Man quite a lot. He's a big... because he takes photos of him. So
Yeah,
then
that was
anybody
his own
who's...
stupid... Yeah, that's his stupid ass thing.
And then you got the exact same thing with Superman, actually. He's a reporter. He interacts a lot with Superman. Though it's completely silly.
Yeah,
And
great plan. Great plan,
most
guys.
superheroes don't tend to do that, though. They kind of keep their shit separate.
Yeah,
I remember.
they really should. But yeah, I think a lot of superheroes make that mistake.
Yeah, I mean, logically speaking, the first thing you should do if you decide to be a superhero is say to your friends and family, "Hey, I've decided I got this new job in such and such a city, so I'm going to be moving there."
Yeah, it's a good point. But I suppose that's hard. Like lots of superheroes are high schoolers, and don't really want to. They just want the kicks.
And generally they're not highly logical.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the ones that are tend to not actually care that much because they're highly logical and just compartmentalize a lot more.
Yeah. Does Batman actually care if anybody really steals his secret identity? Because-
Yes.
Well, he doesn't really have anything to lose about it, does he?
He can do a lot of good as both Batman and Bruce Wayne, but if the secret identity is revealed, then both of those are kind of compromised.
Yeah, I suppose.
Like suddenly, say in any Justice League canon, Batman's Bruce Wayne. Oh, so that's how the Justice League gets funded and why all the technology goes to the Wayne Foundation or Wayne Enterprises or whatever. Oh. Okay, that is kind of unfair as far as business is concerned. He should really be spreading that wealth around rather than keeping it to his own interests. That's not fair. And then you have government lobbyists going to the Senate and saying, you should stop Bruce Wayne from cheating everyone out of this incredible alien technology. For example. So it does matter.
That is a pretty good argument, actually, yes.
Yeah, it is. Okay.
Now, the way I would handle it in this situation is they tell one person. They tell one person to verify all their bullshit stories to keep them away from the rest of their friends and family when they need to do superhero stuff.
Yeah, like Secret Keeper, I suppose. That's pretty common too in a lot of stories.
Makes so much sense, yeah. I mean, Batman Beyond did that.
Who was his, anyway?
It was the black girl, I can't remember her name.
Max.
Oh,
That's the
okay.
one, thank you.
I couldn't quite remember exactly. I was wondering if maybe it was his younger brother, but I don't think he was mature enough for that.
She was not featured in the film at all, now that I think about it.
Yeah, well, you didn't need Joker things happening to Max.
Might
Is
have
that
come with
what-
some interesting symmetry if they actually had done that. But, yeah, okay. You were going to say something.
Is that what prompted this, her being the confidant or whatever? Confidant? Was something happened with the Joker, or?
No, I think she just found out And then she was like, "Oh, cool, you're a superhero. I want to be like your Robin." You mean like Batgirl? No, I mean like Robin. I think was something like how the conversation went. And then she tried, and it went spectacularly badly. And she was like, "Yeah, I'm good. You do your thing. Have fun." Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Secret identities are a weird plot contrivance.
Yeah,
To be honest, it's
if you're going to make a secret identity, then to some extent you've got to make the character also have an alter ego. Make him interact differently when he's wearing a mask, like different side of himself, I suppose.
yeah, it is a good way to manufacture a split personality disorder, and or at the very least, what was the other thing that dissociative identity disorder? That was the one. Yeah. It does not seem like a mentally healthy thing to do for anyone involved. And it seems strange that superheroes would just sort of jump to that almost universally.
I suppose it's escapism, really. I guess that's one reason you could, of course. Well, for Spider-Man teenage-ish heroes, they want to get away from their regular, normal lives.
Yeah, I guess in that sense, from a meta-narrative stance, it's like, oh, you can be Peter Parker. That means you are literally in the story and you get to do the awesome things. It's like you're Spider-Man or something along those lines. Yeah. Yeah, this is a weird topic to do.
Yeah, I don't know what direction to take it. I mean, like, I don't know. Are we doing how to write it, or are we doing just the foibles of it?
Okay, well, let's choose. Okay, Kenshi.
Yes.
You are basically writing one of these. So, what is your approach to writing it as far as, what was his name? Max. It was also Max. Interacting with, God, your story's complicated now I think about it, because he's interacting with people that are also, secret identities of superheroes.
He doesn't know
of the time.
He doesn't know this.
He doesn't know, but that just makes it more complicated.
Just go with the thing that nobody knows.
See, here's the thing about that. He has no ability to just go off and be. He does it when he wants to. That's it. Unless something really catastrophic happens that he feels like he has to stick his neck out for, which really hasn't happened yet, there's no reason for him to like, oh no, there's a bank robbery happening around the corner. I gotta go, guys, because he doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
He really doesn't care. If something like that happened, he'd be like, it's not my problem. Or his second thought would be, how can I get farther away from this?
Yeah, so I guess it's not.
It's really not the same.
He doesn't fall into the same trappings.
No. I intentionally made it that way so that when its identity does become a thing, it's more fun for everyone.
Yeah. I always find that when they do like the whole secret identity stories that I've always had, like not always, but like 9% of the time I find that they just revealed someone for fuck all of a reason, just to try and promote a kind of romance kind of subplot, and I just think it's just wasted in a way. I don't know, that's the main issue I find with people trying, is they just give it up really quickly.
Yeah, I suppose one thing I could say is Worm, the web novel, which I don't think anyone else here has read. This does it. So, like at the beginning of the series, there was very teenage superhero. She goes to school. She does superhero things on an evening, and then it's kind of got that it was much more interesting of a story when that was all pretty much out the window. No, and it was more kind of just her being a superhero, doing superhero stuff, fighting superhero threats, and everything else fades to the background.
Mm.
And yeah, when her identity was revealed, I kind of get the feeling that the author was just doing, oh yeah, let's just get this over and done with to open up the more interesting plot lines again. It was never really focused on like that. So yeah, just think about what type of story you're going to be writing, whether you need the whole superhero secret identity
Alter
thing.
ego, yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't always give anything to the story.
Yeah, I mean, there are some superheroes that don't even bother at all. Can't think of any off the top of my head right now.
That's usually just how it is.
Some of the
though.
Lanterns don't do that. Guy Gardner doesn't, I don't think.
No, Guy Gardner. Well, does he actually have a alter ego? I thought he was just always just...
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Don't think
okay. Yeah.
If memory serves, Guy Gardner would make fun of Hal Jordan because he wore the fucking stupid mask or something.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, shall we move on? Like, we could talk about in story, how the interactions should happen or something. I think that's what he was actually asking. When's it appropriate to reveal the identity? Let's do that, because that's probably the main thrust, considering that was the first thing he really talked about.
Depends on which side you value more. You value your superhero side more, your personal life more.
Yeah, revealing it definitely cuts off one avenue or one of those two.
Yeah.
So
Revealing it is basically something you should do when you've decided which is more important and which you're going to focus on.
And don't do the Peter Parker approach when, reveal it and then, oh no, actually this cuts us off quite a bit. Let's take it all back and say, make a deal with the devil.
Well, that's generally just
that's
writing
not really what happened, but okay.
Wasn't it?
No, he revealed his secret identity and someone immediately shot his aunt.
You've gone there. I can't hear you.
Yeah,
Somebody immediately what?
He revealed his secret identity because of the Civil War thing, and then someone immediately shot his aunt and put her into a coma or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
So, yeah, that was basically the best argument you could have for having secret entities right there.
Yeah, but that wasn't really planned, was it? It was just they essentially brought him back, took off no development on there. Let's undo this massive change and go back to how standard Spider-Man story was.
Yeah, no one likes One More Day, but yeah. Anyway, the rest of it was about writing. So, I think we can move on from that kind of clusterfuffle of a topic. So, on to the next thing. So, this topic was brought up by who was it? Ethan F. Just thought of a good topic for you guys to talk about, which is using, abusing, and improving power systems in settings. This mostly comes about in SIs, although someone seeing a way to abuse an established system in their own setting isn't rare either.
Well, yeah, Naruto with the Shadow Clones. I mean, that's canon doing that exploitation.
I would probably say here just don't. Because Naruto with the Shadow Clones, even in canon, nobody else thought of this. It wasn't particularly bigly.
Yeah.
No one else could do it in canon.
No, but that's the thing. Other people could do like a couple, and like it wouldn't be as big of a thing as Naruto, but still double your speed with just one clone.
Yeah, why not do that? Like everybody should be doing this. It should be a common technique, even if they don't go.
It is a pretty common technique. Kakashi uses them quite a lot. Other people tend to use different clones, like elemental ones. Like Orochimaru uses a lot of mud clones. Zabuza used water clones. That they all had different drawbacks and benefits.
So for those who use the shadow clones, they should have all been doing what Naruto was doing in second part of when he started doing it, the mass training.
I'm going to play devil's advocate here. Using shadow clones splits your chakra in half, so really...
Yeah. It basically halves your power, and if that clone fucks up and doesn't actually do anything, you've just halved your power for nothing.
Well, no, but you regenerate it pretty quickly, don't you?
No.
No.
This
That
is not one of
happens
those settings where you get it back quickly.
No, Kakashi burned himself out in one fight. Against a kind of okay opponent. So yeah, that's not a thing that you could reasonably do. I mean, it worked for Naruto, not only because he had stupidly large amounts of chakra, but because
It was kind of his only move for a long
he had
time.
nothing else going for him, so he would spam thousands of them, and there'd be thousands of him with his strength level and nothing else going for them because they never had anything else going for them to begin with. So he could afford to. Him having no extra power doesn't really change anything.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's depressing.
Yeah.
It still seems, though, like a lot of the other guys could have just created one or two shadow clones, and even if don't do power-intensive techniques, just practice the basics. Chakra control.
Yeah, even his when he's practicing to cut the leaf, I'm like, for fuck's sake, just one shadow clone, that's not exactly chakra intensive.
Yeah.
You could do that all day.
It should be a common thing that other people should have realized.
It probably is a common thing once you get enough power to use one.
I thought anybody could use one, they would just be half the strength. It's not like...
There is an understanding that if you use it when you're not ready for it, it will just straight up probably kill or cripple you.
Yeah, besides, half of something is not the same as half of something else.
What?
I don't know what that was either.
What the fuck was that?
Half for Naruto is not the same as half for, like, Konohamaru. Academy student Konohamaru. It's not the same. So Naruto could make one and like do chalk leaf thing forever. Konohamaru could probably make a clone, but he could only do it for like, I don't know, like 20 minutes because he's a kid. So there was really no use to splitting it.
I don't know. That
Like once you get to a level where you can use it and then it's just there for several hours and it can do stuff while you're doing other stuff, that's fine. That's probably like tuning level, which we didn't see a lot of at all. Like it went from Genin stuff to, okay, let's fucking do planet busters and shit almost immediately. So
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, that didn't... yeah, no.
Which I think is a lot of the problem with Naruto. It was never a consistent feel of the powers levels. People always
They did a bad job with that. There was Genin stuff, and then there was like, okay, these are really gifted Genins. So they're like almost as strong as Jonin. And then there's like, oh, Jonin and Chunin aren't shit anymore.
yeah, so the power level basically went from 1 to 20, 5,000, 9 million. Basically.
That was a very specific number. Any particular reason?
No.
I thought it was going to stop at 9. I thought it was going to do a 9,000. Honestly.
Yeah.
No, I'm not that. I'm not. Wow.
Well, you started off. You just added a couple more zeros.
No. It might have been subconsciously there, but I consciously avoided it. I don't know. Anyway.
Okay, enough
so,
about this blah. Let's get. We need to switch to a different example.
Abusing power systems. So
Yeah, personally,
that doesn't
I'm really
necessarily
not
mean you're
a fan.
shonen crap. Just to clarify, that could mean political systems or technology, for example.
If you're going to do this, make sure it's really a creative abuse and you give a very good reason why nobody else has done it. Otherwise, it just comes up, yeah, this is just the author wanting the character to be special.
Also, don't get caught up in it. Look at what happened to the gamer. That half of that manga is just training. He's still training.
I'm not entirely sure what you were expecting when it was a manga about, video games, basically.
A little
Bear in
more
mind,
action.
a lot of it is grinding.
I would like him to go into the dungeons and make actual progress more, but I don't know.
He goes to those same things again just to do safe grinding a hell of a lot as well.
I mean, can't the grinding go unsaid? Like, we get your grind. Like,
Yes. That's what we've all been hoping for. I dropped to like 60 chapters back because I just got bored of reading more grind.
Yeah, I check back on it every 20 chapters or so. I just got caught up recently.
I'm good with still continuing not to read it.
and that's a mark of pride for you.
Yeah. Frankly, the fanfictions are probably better.
They are.
The game
my
itself doesn't actually have all that much going for it as a story on its own. But if you incorporate the elements into other stories, it suddenly has new value. So
I don't think I've ever read a game of fanfic, actually. I don't think I've ever read a game of fanfic or in any story.
Not a straight one. There's never been. I don't think there's a straight game of fanfic.
No, not even
no one cares that much about the game on its own.
No, not even any sort of game of fanfic.
The
Yeah,
games
I've
we
seen
play
loads of
is a
crossovers.
good one.
Which one?
The games we play was a Ruby
I
one.
thought that fell into a similar trap. I'm like, that spends so much time just describing new abilities. That
It does for long stretches of time, but it does go
It does go places. A lot.
It does. I agree, but it just seemed like I felt a lot of the time it was just describing new abilities. You just go out into green territory and just cast it, just doing new shit, and didn't seem like much purpose behind it. I don't know. It just felt very superfluous. Wow, I can't even say that right.
Superfluous.
Thank you. It's like 3 a.m. I'm knackered.
Yeah. Australia. Yeah, so Ethan specifically called out self-inserts for this, and he's probably right to, because this is basically all that they tend to be. You get someone inserting themselves into a specific story, it's probably because they have an idea to exploit the shit out of it and want to show off.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Make a
there
printed
was one I
press.
think you recommended a few months, like a year back. It's that orange ring one.
With this ring, yeah. Still reading that, by the way. It's getting a little weird.
A little weird, huh?
Yeah, you noticed the pony stuff too, huh?
No?
Okay.
I stopped reading that a while back. What? Pony stuff?
Okay, so anyone heard of the character Ambush Bug? This is a tangent, but I don't care.
Oh, what?
Ambush Bug.
It's
Yeah, I know him actually. He's the... Oh, I've
It's
heard
basically
of him.
DC Deadpool. He's the meta humor character.
Okay.
So he shows up in the story on April Fools, naturally, and decides that he hates Paul, the protagonist, because he's a self-insert, and self-inserts ruin the story.
Oh, he knows about this, and he's... Okay.
Yeah, because he's the meta humor character, so he can see through the fourth wall. So he basically teleports Paul into alternate versions of himself. So there's a Red Lantern one. He sees the Blue Lantern one again. I think there was Indigo as well. I can't remember. Anyway, and then it gets weird because Paul figures a way out of it, comes back, and then gets teleported away again into apparently the future, where he recruits Nightmare Moon, the leopard from Kung Fu Panda, and Azula as Orange Lanterns somehow.
So wait, he's now in universe.
Okay.
Yeah, and then he goes back, and it's fine, and everything's back to normal, more or less. Except then there's also the Renegade timeline, which, to quickly sum it up, is basically the same story, only Paul had a bad day before he gets teleported to the Young Justice universe.
So he selfishly exploits all of the exploits he finds, as opposed to just using them for his own survival and the greater good.
Yeah, basically. And he basically solves the ambush bug thing immediately, like within 30 seconds of finding out about it. But then somehow Twilight Sparkle from the Ponies universe,
Oh, of course.
yeah, shows up and things happen, only she's human and very confused and can't walk because she's a pony.
Well, that's a thing in the one of the movies. I mean, she does become human.
I'll take your word for it. I don't care.
Human. Yeah.
And Misa Amane from Death Note show up.
What?
What the fuck?
So he gives Misa Amane the Flash serum, the super speed, and basically recruits Twilight Sparkle as like a magic-y person.
Okay,
Yeah,
this is
And then
straight
the
up
Amberstug
bad.
stuff ends, and these characters don't go away in the Renegade timeline. So they're just sort of there now, and it's a little odd.
Outstanding or the hell.
I'm really glad I stopped reading this.
I'm glad I let it go when it was still readable.
I'm kind of tempted to just stop reading the Renegade stuff because that's just dumb. But, you know, the regular story's fine. Yeah.
And you're sure this is still a story and not just a waifu list? Because that's what this sounds like.
It does.
Still a story.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think at this point the Renegade stuff is basically there to just piss the audience off at this point.
So fair enough. Okay.
Yeah. It was weird. What were we talking about? Abusing power systems. That was the one. We were talking about self-inserts, and you brought up with this ring, which was a mistake.
I apologize. I shouldn't have done it.
No, you really shouldn't, but, you know, whatever. You brought it up for a reason, though.
Yeah, it's just power system that got abused like a bitch.
Yeah, in fairness, he didn't really abuse it. He just got given a god-tier artifact and just abused that like a normal person would.
isn't that pretty much the same thing?
Not really. I mean, abusing power systems means going into a story blind with nothing and then taking everything that's there and manipulating it to its absurd proportions. So, say, for example,
Thrown into the fray.
For example, you go into the Game of Thrones universe and you manipulate every political connection you happen to have, if you have them, or you do something incredible, like, say, for example, inventing the printing press.
Knew you were going to do that.
Well, like I say, it's a thing that they do a lot.
Just love to throw off all the tangents.
Yeah, and you do something like that, and you win over and over again, because either meta-knowledge or just abusing everything that you know to break the system.
Yeah, my advice, if you're going to try in a self-insert, fine, go for it. It's pretty common.
It's
if you're trying
basically
this,
the crux of the entire genre. You know?
Yeah, but if you're trying this in any proper system, don't, because breaking and a system you've already established, you're more likely just to break the reader's whole suspension of disbelief,
Yeah.
I guess. Which I really don't like saying because space battles.
We already know about your long-standing vendetta.
That's actually my long-standing vendetta. I don't know what Guy's opinion is on it, actually, because he, you know, posts there and does stuff there.
Yeah.
I thought Guy hated the community.
I don't hate the community, it just gets very tiresome after a while. You know that one cousin that's, yeah, he's fun for a while, but he just goes on and on. Space battles is kind of like that. It gets really, you can enjoy it, but then it gets really, really tiresome to try and keep up with it.
Okay. One day we're going to just have to make space battles a topic on its own. And just talk about that for a while. Just so we can, you know, air everything
Just
out.
all
and then
the
not
rant.
talk about it ever again. Okay. So yeah, that self-inserts, I probably find them more interesting if they I find it more interesting to write, personally, if I'm not just going to abuse the hell out of everything that I know and try and... Like, for example, I'm writing the Skyrim one right now. And I know how to break Skyrim's rule set. Like, make a potion, make an enchantment, smith something, and you can punch anything for like 60,000 damage and kill it instantly.
You become One Punch Man, yes.
Yes. I know how to do that. So my choice on how to write that is, how do I make it so those rules exist, but they're not quite so stupidly broken? So that's what I'm trying to do, is trying to balance it instead of break it.
For your specific scenario, you could have it capped by some deity figure, the gods. Not the ones that are in the setting, but like the planet Gaia or itself or something. You just find a mythical wall that you can't get past. Yeah, it's a bit cheap, but I mean, whatever.
I think my basic plan to, curtail that very, very specific scenario that I just used is, yes, you can make a potion that makes enchanting better, but that's because it's making the things that you do that are part of enchanting, you're better at them. But obviously at some point, there's a peak, there's a pinnacle. You can't get better than the best kind of thing. So then it doesn't become quite so broken, is the approach that I'm probably going to take. Like, for example, you can make a potion that makes you really, really, really good at blacksmithing. But that just means your hands are steady, you are a bit stronger, you are more heat resistant, so you're not going to flinch away from the forge or anything like that.
That works.
Yeah. So my approach is more balancing it so I can't break it quite so hard, because that just makes the story kind of pointless in the end. You just get into wankery if you go too far with that. So.
Yeah, I suppose that's the inherent danger and all self-insert bits.
I've never truly understood the self-insert thing. It just seems like it's just making a character, really. Just, you could use any character. You could just slap an animal character and you could just say it's a OC. Why self-insert? Why not just say OC?
The idea is, it's a simple question, is the basis of all self-insert fics. If I were to go into this story, what would I do? That's it. That is the basic concept behind all of them.
Isn't it self-inserts have to have the meta-knowledge, as in they realise this is a story, rather than any OC which wouldn't?
There are some that have that, and some that don't. With this ring, very specifically, does not have the meta-knowledge of the Young Justice universe. Very specifically. It knows a lot of stuff about other universes of, like, DC, but Young Justice specifically doesn't know the future, doesn't know what's going to happen, and is actually very confused about how some of the stuff works, because it's different. So, you can have the meta-knowledge in some SIs. In some, you can just choose not to have that and see what you as a character would do if you were in this setting and in this story.
I always think just go OC, because just for that, the mere labeling of self-insert can drive away readers. Just
the mere
say
labeling of OC can also drive away readers.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I think self-insert has more of a stigma attached than OC.
To be honest, even if you labelled it as OC, you would probably get people just dismissing it as self-insert. Unless it's...
I basically do that. I'm not going to lie. I see so many OC stories, I just skip over them, because they're going to be either self-inserts that just can't admit it, or they're terrible characters, is what it tends to be. So.
Yeah, unfortunately I can't really argue with that one. I would like to, but it's depressing I can't.
I mean, the only reason I read Kenshi's, both of them, is because I have read all of his other stuff, save like one story.
Yeah, you know the writer thing.
I know he is a good writer, and I know he can probably pull it off.
Is he still there?
I'm still here.
I thought he's like really like smug about himself right now.
I'm just basking in the glow. Period.
One of them, he really did pull it off. The other one needs a little work, but that's because he's using a new perspective.
Yeah.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I just need to take this pin back out of Kenchi's head so he can deflate a little bit.
It's gonna take a while.
Yeah, I know.
We'll just let that go for a while.
Like longer than that.
Okay, so
what were we talking about?
abusing power systems,
Yeah,
which
right.
kind of turn into self-inserts.
Yeah, not surprising there, I suppose.
Natural.
So for writing these, what do you guys suggest then? I mean, it has to come up at some point. Some character is going to find some way to get an edge.
For the funsies, I want some like completely underestimate one of the characters they're up against and get their shit pushed in. Just like think that they have the advantage because they know know everything about the universe they're in, and then they underestimate a character's strength or intelligence or something and just get demolished.
That
That'd be
happens
fun.
sometimes.
Personally, my view is don't abuse. In fact, when this comes up, I generally try to find some reason on my own to balance the system, and to specifically stop anybody from abusing it.
Oh,
Feel
so
that's
basically,
happening.
same view as mine then, basically.
Yeah, just don't
Balance
do
it, don't break it,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah. I think it's okay to like break it in some stages, but like if they break it in one way, kind of as you're saying, balance it again, but have someone else like on the other side kind of break it, but in a different way, similar to like the Log Horizon shit before that went shit. Like he broke the system in one way, but then it was kind of tempered by someone else breaking it in a different way.
Someone else did it in a different region, and now there's an
So it's like
kind of thing
you
going
could
on
break
between two
it,
different
but, like,
countries.
bring it back down to level the playing field by having someone else do something else that breaks it in a different way, just to kind of level the playing field. So
Right.
They don't even have to do it in a different way. Like someone could literally hear about how this character did this, and now he's super powerful. And
So
someone
it
else
does
goes,
follows them do
well,
the same thing.
why can't I do that?
Yeah, pretty
Just
much.
find some way to balance it again. Just don't OP the shit out of a character.
Yeah, like if it's super obvious what they did to get an edge, then anyone can do it. And once one person's done it, everyone will do it.
That's the biggest problem I have with breaking it. Is just the question: why hasn't anybody done this before? And
Yeah,
that's
It's fine sometimes. Like, why didn't anyone... I don't know. Someone invented the wheel. Let's go
Yeah,
right back
there's
to
always got
basics.
to be
Someone
someone who
invented the
does it
wheel.
first,
Why
yes.
didn't we think of that? Oh, well, doesn't matter anymore. Someone has thought of it, so let's fucking do it.
Because like,
Well-
why hasn't somebody done it? There's always got to be somebody who does it first. Like,
Yeah.
thing. So.
yeah.
You're not gonna
That's example when it's like an undeveloped power system where nobody's done it. Like if it was a new magic that nobody's explored yet, fine, go for it. But if it's something that's been around for a while and it's been well developed, then no, you can't do it. It's just, why has nobody else done this?
It takes
Well, you can
care
just go,
to
like-
do that right. Is
Yeah.
what I'll say, because there is a certain blindness that you get in a society of people just doing things the same way because that's how it's always been done. But then you get someone that thinks out of the box and does something slightly differently or very differently, and it's way better. And no one did it differently because this worked fine.
Or you could do it similar to the way, like, in some fantasy things where it's like, for somehow, like, they seem to lose. That's one common thing with magic, is they always seem to lose their magic as generation goes by. Like, they seem to be weaker than they were 100 years ago. So it's like just rediscovering something from then. So it's like it may have been then, and they just brought it back, just differently, or something. I don't know.
Okay, anything else for abusing power systems that we want to talk about?
I think we've talked it to the ground a bit.
A little bit. I don't know how long we've been going, and I can't really check since I'm doing video capture. Maybe I should like start.
It's been about 2 hours.
About 2 hours. Damn it! I wanted to talk about Angel for like 40 minutes. God damn it!
You
Oh well,
go
I guess
ahead,
we can do
mean,
it next time and make it the first topic, is what we can
Oh,
do.
joy.
Yeah.
You could do it now. I mean, I don't care.
An episode longer than 2 hours is a bad idea, just generally speaking.
Fine.
Like 2 hours is usually too much for most people anyway, so. So,
Or it could
recommendations.
just be like a good excuse to cut it down.
I've got a recommendation. Oh, were we going back to something? Did I interrupt there?
I was just saying you could use like the short time frame now to just prevent him doing a 40-minute tangent and make it a 5-minute tangent.
You won't go on a 5-minute tangent.
No, I won't. I'm being considerate to the audience by just, keeping
Let them have it.
Yeah.
Just let it go.
So, Guy, you said you had a recommendation.
Yes. Hold on, you interrupted me there. I've now got to find it again.
And now he wants to go first.
No, I don't want to go first. Somebody else.
You literally volunteered like 30 seconds ago.
Yes. That was just me saying I've got a recommendation. That somebody else go first while I find this recommendation. I don't.
But you said you had it, and then you said, "Oh, I don't have it anymore. I've got to find it again." Is what you said.
Yeah.
You were perfectly ready.
Somebody else go while I get this sorted. Honestly.
Anyone
It's
got
so
one?
hard.
I've got one, but I need to find it again.
Bum, 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 bum.
So, guys, how are you all?
I'm good.
Pretty
Just
good.
preparing to get myself shut up tomorrow at paintball. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Well, after I work tomorrow, I'm going to be on vacation for like going to be stoked tomorrow. It's going to be great. I'm so ready. Not have to do anything.
I'm ready to be
That
crippled.
sounds great. I have one, by the way.
Okay. Sisa?
It's called Ascension. It's a Mass Effect Harry Potter crossover. 34 chapters, complete, 141,000 words, so pretty good. So far, it's kind of standard, I guess, if that's even a thing for Mass Effect crossovers. It's just, Harry hasn't affected the story too terribly badly. There's some character development stuff that's happened. The one unique thing, though, is they recruited the Thorian.
Huh.
Like, yeah, so it's very Hanar. It's this one and the old roots and flesh and stuff like that, calling people things like that.
I'm going to clarify for people that haven't played Mass Effect. The Thorian was an eldritch plant creature that lived for 50,000 years and basically brainwashed an entire colony into serving it.
Well, I don't know if it's canon, but it's they only know it's 50,000 years old. It claims to be much,
it was there for the
older than
Protheans,
that.
which was 50,000 years ago. It doesn't specify how old it is beyond that, or whether it even counts that high. Whether it counts its age, it doesn't know.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so that's gone some interesting places. Like they had to, they took the green Asari with them that was still controlled by the Thorian, and they're kind of humanizing it. That like it's not used to being around people, so it has some weird quirks, and it has to get used to that.
That actually
So it
sounds
has-
really interesting. Just that
Isn't
element.
the
I don't know
Thorian
what
like
makes it.
a giant
It's-
plant creature? How does it even fit on the ship?
It doesn't. They just take the... It took in an Asari that was like... it was supposed to be like the voice of the Thorian or something. And I assume, based on what Slice said, that they just took her, and she's still connected to the Thorian.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Thorian imprinted part or a flash thing of its mind or something. It's not actively connected to the Thorian, the green Asari is. It's
Right,
just
so
like
it's
a
basically
copy of its
mind
personality.
copy, and then it's going to recollect everything when it gets back.
Yes,
Yeah.
and the fact that it's no longer connected to the main plant is a big deal. It's like it now has physical needs, like the fact that it has to use the bathroom and eat on a regular basis and sleep and talk to people. So, yeah, it's pretty funny. I like that part of the fic. I just wish it was a little, I don't know. a little more original, but it's
Yeah.
also only half done.
A
So
little more loose with the plot rather than sticking it to the rails kind of thing.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
In its defense, it has skipped over a lot of things. Like it straight up the Moon mission, where you go back at Edie's birth, basically.
Oh, yeah.
That one. It does that in exposition, and it takes like 2 paragraphs. So it's very nice. It gives everyone's reactions to it. They got a nice like section 2 or 3 pages for the loyalty missions, that kind of thing. So it's set up very nicely. I like it.
Okay. Guy, do you have your thing yet?
Yes, alright, now after getting some time to prepare, I am ready to go.
Don't get used to it.
Alright, so my pick is a Song of Ice and Fire pick. Our choice is Seal Our Fate by Dolores Editor. And so I've been looking for a Song of Ice and Fire pick for a while. It's a very weird fandom. Lots of writing in it, but very hard to find a good, what I count as a Song and Ice and Fire pick.
You didn't try
And
the
this
other
one-
ones that I recommended? I feel hurt.
Which ones did you recommend?
Greyjoy Alabreve, Wearing Robert's Crown.
Non-self-insert.
Okay.
The Song of Ice and Fire pick. And this one pretty much ticks all of the boxes. So the premise is at the pre-Game of Thrones, at the Battle of the Trident, Prince Rhaegar says, hey, let's not fight because why are we actually fighting? I married your sister. Let's join forces and go against the Mad King and just try to talk things out instead of going into the big Battle of the Trident. So pretty much AU from the very beginning, although a lot of the same stuff does kind of happen. So the Mad King is killed by the Kingslayer, but it's King Rhaegar takes the throne and it's drawn as a Targaryen and all of that sort of stuff. But he still goes to Winterfell just as a ward and finds that. So at first when I was reading it, I kind of thought, okay, this is setting is a nicer Game of Thrones setting. All of the guys are in power. It's a lot less dark. It's more of a love triangle between Jon, Sansa, and Daenerys. A happier version. Everyone is better off at it. And then it kind of goes, nope, this is exactly Game of Thrones, actually. It goes way into the darkness, and it really does it well. So all of the good, happy times of it goes right down the drain where Robert Baratheon comes back saying, hey, I'm not done with this grudge. I want this war. I'm invading Westeros for the second time. And yes, he invades Westeros. He does really well. He kills Prince Rhaegar again when Jon is trying to defend him. And it pretty much goes downhill from there. And it's really, really well done.
It's in a good way, right? It's not just like forcing canon to happen.
No, it's pretty original. So a lot of the characters, they stay true to. There's a couple of them that I have a problem, but I kind of do set it to the same. It feels like a Song of Ice and Fire in a lot of places. It's Tywin Lannister. He's pretty much exactly Tywin Lannister. Everybody tries to turn against him and says, "Nope, I'm Tywin Lannister. You will lose." A lot like that. And it's a good story. I'm enjoying it a lot. It's a very long story too. Over 500,000 words.
Bloody hell.
And yeah, it's good, really good story for a long read if you're feeling nostalgic for A Song and Ice of Fire.
Okay. Anyone else? Recommendations?
Yes. I'm just tossing up between which one.
You can do both if you like. You're not going to be on another one for a while, so...
Don't remind me.
Sorry.
I'll do this one because it's also a nice long read. It's about 520,000 words. It's called A Cadmean Victory. I'll link it. At the moment, I'm still reading it, so I can't give like an overall yet. I'm about 70 chapters in. He updated this thing really quickly. He starts it in August of last year, and he finished it back in February. Like, just completely bashed it out. Quite impressive. So there's like small spelling errors every now and then. It's not really a big issue, but it's just like it's a Harry Potter fic. It's just slightly darker kind of thing. AUs from Goblet of Fire, so it just skips right to there. Gives it like a little first chapter. It just kind of like slight tiny issues. Yes, I said I'll link it in a sec. Jesus Christ, hold your fucking horses.
Love you too.
So it's pretty much just he's just like so it's a little bit darker Harry, just showing more the effects of the whole 11 years solitude that he would have had at the beginning. So it's just slight tweaks on how his relationships and how everything kind of just just kind of plows on from there. So it's like when everyone betrays him, kind of turns on him, when he gets his name out of the goblet, it's just how everything really seemed like just kind of carried on from there from the mindset of someone who had like really taken that 11 years of solitude much closer to heart. I'm quite enjoying it so far. I've just been binging the shit out of it today. So yeah, I'm only about 70 chapters in. Still got another 33 to go. So you kind of do like just a lot of 5,000 word chapters, but I'm enjoying it. Recommend.
Okay.
Not complete. Also, actually, for Guy, he's doing another fic that you might be interested in, Song of Ice and Fire. So you might want to, if you want, you can look at that one. Which is just like hasn't got very far yet, but you might want to look at that one as well.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, if you're looking for Song of Ice and Fire once, it might be an interesting one.
Okay. My recommendation is The Monkey King by Fedora411. To clarify, a lot of this recommendation is because this guy is one of our listeners, so yo.
Oh, is he a listener? I was thinking of recommending that as well.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. So this guy wrote a story a while back, like, bear with me, a couple of years ago, called The Man Who Would Be King. I recommended that as well.
Honestly, what did you expect there? That wasn't good.
So, yeah, basically, this is a story where Luffy does not eat the gum fruit. Basically, he does not have a devil fruit.
Sorry.
Hi, Zero.
A little late, mate.
Yeah, he's in Vegas, baby. So he's not.
Oh, yeah.
I still hate him.
Yeah.
I'm glad I don't have to. I'm not. I have to listen to him talk about his week.
If it helps, he was on a car ride, and I messaged him, and he told me how bored he was. I told him to take a nap. He said he can't because he needed to pee. Naturally, I felt the only proper course of action was to tell him to just, don't worry about it. Just let it,
Just open a window.
Just let your frustrations flow away like a calm river, just bubbling along, and it just sort of cascades over a waterfall with a very calming shh. I felt pretty good about it. It was pretty good. Just wanted to say hi. Did you piss yourself?
I'm very supportive.
I want to know.
We can take offense. Oh no, here we go.
So we've gone from talking to doing something in a visual format on an audio podcast.
Well,
We should probably wrap it up now.
yeah, we're getting there. I want to know whether he pissed himself.
He's taking a while for a simple
He
yes
is,
or no
yeah.
answer.
So apparently there's a story here, which I will read for the audience's amusement. He was saved by a friendly Carl's Jr.
Yeah, that story sucked.
Yeah, it's a shame.
How did it take him that long to type that?
I don't know. He's probably on his phone. That's probably why.
True, yeah, you said it was blowing up with messages.
Yeah. Yeah, so the Monkey King, Luffy doesn't eat the devil fruit. So he becomes powerful by being powerful dude, basically Garp style. And it pretty much goes from there. It does some minor changes that don't really affect that much, but are interesting in and of themselves. Like, Shanks has not lost his arm, and he had a kid with Makino who is a snotty little brat, but will probably never show up again. But it was a nice addition, and that it's an OC that is not, you know, wow, Luffy is so cool and awesome, and you're great and stuff, and is more just whiny shit. It's kind of great. Kenshi's being mad at Zero. Yeah, and like I say, some other small changes so far. It's only 3 chapters in, so it's only gotten to just after the Shells Town, I think it was, the Captain Morgan arc. So it's just done that. It's pretty solid. The author has gotten a lot better since the last thing I read from him. So, you know, I think maybe take a look at that. If you want a story where Luffy just doesn't, you know, rubber whatever everything and actually has to fight using his own strength and intelligence and is a little bit smarter, it's a decent story.
Yeah, I registered the author actually contacted me asking for a review. And yeah, it's a good story. I don't mind. I like the idea that he doesn't have a devil fruit. I like a lot of the features of it. The only thing which I would say, it's got to move on further from canon right now, because it's a lot of it's just repeating itself. And yeah, that's pretty much why I hesitated before I recommended this myself.
I mean, like I say, it's only 3 chapters in, so there's not a lot of room to do that yet.
Yeah, it's just small, 17,000 words, 3 chapters, and not a lot in there at the minute. That's kind of the thing that's putting me off.
Yeah, but, you know, give it a look. It's pretty good. I'm hoping for more from it. It's, like I said, 17,000 words. Nice, semi-quick read. Good fun. I guess we're finishing. Before we do that, I've got one last thing to do. Bear with me for like 5 seconds.
1, 2, 3, 4.
No, wait.
Unfortunately, that was a bit fast for a 5-second count.
It wasn't a 5 seconds.
I started late.
Yeah, but now
anyways, it's been way over 5 seconds
but I
now.
have the thing now, so it's okay. So, Patreon donators, thank you very much for donating. We very much appreciate it. So, to be very specific, Tempest Troper, you donated $5. Thank you very much to Tempest Troper, long-time patron, like all of them are. Korvac, thank you for your $10. You've received the thing, but you're still donating. We very much appreciate it. If you would like another commission, we could probably do you one of those. Just let us know what you want if you want one. Probably, hopefully, something a little bit easier. Anyway. And this other asshole, I can't read his name. It's really it's like Huggy Fudge.
Who would that be?
I don't know. It's some asshole. He donated $20 though, so that's pretty okay.
Yeah.
$20. Not too bad.
It doesn't stop him from being a douche, though. I mean, you can't buy away out of that.
I've heard his name get called out pretty regularly. It's like he seems like a regular donor of the $20 amount.
Yeah.
He's just trying to curry favor. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
Really?
I am unbribable unless you bribe me directly. Unless you bribe me directly.
Unfortunately, I can only bribe Casey directly because he's the only one I can contact separately. How do you think I keep getting here?
Good point.
Wait, are you saying that you are Huggy Fadge?
I don't know if there's a badge in there. I think it's just... I think it's just Huggy... Just... I don't even know how to pronounce it. It's not really a name.
Okay.
I have revealed my identity. No, my secret identity. I've been ruined everything. Now the villains will know where to find me.
Yeah, you should probably, call up your aunt and make sure she's okay.
Nah, don't care.
And that's harsh. So, thank you everyone for listening to the Fandom Flux Podcast episode 137. If you would like to get in contact with us, you can do so through the YouTube channel through the comments. Please donate on Patreon if you feel so inclined. Once again, I'd like to thank everybody for listening to the Fandom Flux Podcast episode 137. Bye now.
Bye.
See you guys.
Bye.
Remember, bribery works.